indicate what the second operation was looking for.
They'd found a fascia clip in her abdomen that had caused perforation of the bowel.
I didn't know that I had peritonitis until I read it on my discharge letter from the hospital.
So, two areas of similarity with the tragedy of Janine Murtagh, which would follow 2 years later. There's poor communication and confusion in the notes. So why didn't the Giles complain to the Royal?
You want me to go to the hospital with them?
Yeah. Distrust.
There's no way would I go to the Royal for anything.
The Giles did contact a solicitor, but he told them their case was too weak. Research indicates that many patients simply avoid complaining or taking legal action. Instead, they try to get on with their lives despite the pain.
The coroner is highly critical of Northern Ireland's leading hospital.
It was the second anniversary of Janine Murtagh's death when the inquest concluded. Some watching news reports that evening did so with special interest and considerable anger.
This tragic case came on the television of Mrs. Murtagh, and June and I sat and could not believe that the same scenario had basically gone on, and that someone had lost their life over the head of it.
June Norrie endured her own nightmare at the Royal 8 years before Janine Murtagh. An operation to remove an ovary did not go well, and she lay in pain for 3 days. Then her husband Bryce received a call from the hospital.
I think it was about 10 o'clock in the morning to say that overnight, obviously, June had deteriorated very badly, and that could I possibly make it to the hospital to sign a consent form within half an hour.
The second operation was not performed by the same surgeon, and now, finally, the Norries learned the truth.
Somewhere down the line, the bowel had been cut and had been leaking for 4 days into June.
Like Janine Murtagh, June Norrie became increasingly ill. There was despair when she was temporarily fitted with a colostomy bag.
My sister coping and actually cleaning and changing my colostomy bag because I couldn't. And that went on for weeks and weeks on end, till it got to the extreme where my sister said, if you don't do this, I'm not doing it anymore. You have to do it. And she walked away and left me. And I just sat there in the bathroom and cried and cried and cried because I thought, I can't do it.
She persevered and got rid of the colostomy bag, but she feels lucky to be alive. And, like Anne Gile, June Norrie continues to suffer pain and other problems years after her operation. We asked the Royal for a comment about the cases of the woman who spoke to us.
I'm not aware of all of the cases that you allude to. If indeed people are unhappy with their treatment or care or the outcomes of that care, then I'd be happy to speak to them. I'd be happy for them to communicate that to us.
Janine Murtagh's death shook the Royal Hospital to its foundations. The hospital says it wants Janine's legacy to be the benchmark for improved healthcare. It's changed several of its systems and policies since the inquest into her death. Policies on obtaining consent, for example, and on early warning alerts following operations. But it has doggedly refused to recommend disciplinary measures against any of the individuals involved in failures that led to the tragedy. Janine's husband has complained bitterly about that to the people in charge of the Royal.
There's another Janine Murtagh waiting to happen out there, because the same people are involved. That's Janine and myself getting married in September '98. A day of so much happiness and love and hope. If tables were reversed and I had died in a hospital as a result of miscare, neglect, I can be assured that the same lady would have left no stones uncovered. That's what I'm driven by. The very least is that I would do the same for her. And I hope that in the small dark hours when things aren't going well, she's driving me. I know she is. She's keeping me going.